Hi folks, this is Functionalism. Functionalism is the oldest perspective in sociology, really introduced by Emile Durkheim, this chap here on the right, who was alive between 1838 and 1917. His main insight into sociology, or to how society works, was that everything has a purpose. Hence the term functionalism is often referred to by this name because it means everything that is in society exists because it has an important function. Durkheim believed that everything has evolved in society because it serves an important function. To give you some examples, you might think of family, which serves the important function of providing care and nurture for young ones and support for adults as well. The economy, which serves to provide sustenance for us in the way of goods and services, shelter, wages, so that we can pay for those goods and food and everything that we need. All of these things in society serve certain needs. Durkheim called them prerequisites, such as caring for individuals, providing food and shelter. Something such as education, for example, provides the need for us to develop and make progress and pass on important knowledge to our children. Functionalism is called a structural perspective. Sometimes it's called a macro perspective as well. It's called this because it talks about society in terms of its big structures, the way the whole of society works. Functionalists refer to society almost like a machine that rules us or governs us. A bit like in the picture, we become a kind of puppet and society is the machine that determines our behaviour. It's called top-down because that means that society is the thing that's ruling the individuals within it. But I want you to think of an important question. Surely society is nothing more than a multitude of individuals who all have the choice on how they can behave. So how can we say that we are ruled by society when, really, if you think about it, such a thing doesn't exist? The only thing that exists is lots and lots of individuals. That's just an interesting thing for you to think about. Another important idea in functionalism is the way that all the different parts of society are interdependent. This basically means that everything in society has to work properly for everything else to work properly. They rely or are dependent upon each other. This is a bit like organs in the human body. If one organ fails, then it's likely that other organs will begin to fail as well. So we could call organs in the body interdependent. This is a very important idea in functionalism because it describes how the whole of society functions, that one part of society, such as the economy, can't actually function on its own. It needs the other parts to function properly as well. This flow diagram kind of demonstrates how some things link up together. You could draw your own with probably many more links than is shown here. So relating it to the human body then, which was Durkheim's idea, and the organs within the body, so we have heart and lungs and liver and a brain, all link up together. None of these organs will work properly if one of the others begins to fail, which demonstrates the interdependence of society. This comparing of the human body to the workings of society was called by Durkheim an organic analogy. So back to the function of things then. Let's ask some questions about that. What important functions does the education system serve? You could say it helps to integrate people into society because they go to school together. You could say it gives people the right kind of skills for the workplace, which gives us all the right kind of people that we need. What about a question for you then? Functionalists place a lot of importance on the idea of value consensus. What this means is having a shared culture within society. People sharing their culture, their beliefs and their values is very, very important to functionalists. Why do you think this might be? Okay, well, one way to answer that might be because if we share values and beliefs and goals, then we all want to try and work together to achieve those goals. We want to make society work, and therefore we will try not to fight too much and to all work together. One such value consensus which everyone might be working towards, functionalists sometimes describe as the American dream. This is basically the idea that everyone wants a nice job and a nice house and a nice car and nice possessions and some status, and that we all strive to make society work to make it possible for all of us to do that. Of course, the problem is it's not possible for everyone to have the American dream. This brings us on to another important idea in functionalism, the idea of meritocracy. Okay, so another question. What is the purpose of exams? Why do we have to take them? They are a pain, aren't they? Okay, well, here's a way that you could answer that. People perform differently in exams, obviously. To functionalists, a really important need that has to be met in society is sorting people into their correct roles, so that all the needs of society are met. For example, we need doctors and we need bricklayers and we need lots of other kinds of different skills. How do we decide who's going to be a doctor and who's going to be a bricklayer? Functionalists see this important role allocation being served by a meritocratic education system, meaning that when people succeed it's because they are more able or they deserve it because they have worked harder. Therefore, those that fail deserve to fail because they weren't bright enough or they didn't work that hard, and therefore they will go on to fill the lower paid jobs. Have a think about this idea of meritocracy. Do you think it's true?